What would be your first executive order? Governor Gilmore, start.
Well, it's not a matter of what the first executive order would be, Bill. The matter is what orders exist now that shouldn't exist. The president has done an executive order with respect to illegal immigration that is illegal, and it creates a contempt for the law, for the rule of law. If I were the President of the United States, I'd go and look at every executive order that exists right now and determine which ones want to be voided, because the President shouldn't be legislating, not through that vehicle or any other. We should be relying upon the leadership of the Congress to pass the laws.
Senator Graham.
Change the Mexico City policy, not take one dime of taxpayer money to fund abortion organizations overseas, and restore the NSA that's been gutted. We're going dark when it comes to detecting the next attack. We have gutted our ability to detect the next attack, and I would not stand for that as President of the United States. I'd take the fight to these guys, whatever it took, as long as it took.
Governor Jindal, your first executive order would be the White House would be what?
To repeal these unconstitutional legal orders, whether it's amnesty or whether it's this president going around the Congress, whether it's an Obamacare, to restore the rule of law. I'd also go after these sanctuary cities, do everything we can to make sure that we are actually prosecuting and cutting off funding for cities that are harboring illegal aliens. And then finally, making sure the IRS is not going after conservative or religious groups. I would sign an executive order protecting religious liberty, our First Amendment rights, so Christian business owners and individuals don't face discrimination for having a traditional view of marriage.
Governor Perry.
It's going to be a pretty busy day, but that Iran negotiation is going to be torn up on day one, and we're going to start the process of securing that border. I'm also going to take a bottle of Whiteout with me to get started on all those executive orders that Mr. Obama has put his name to.
That will be a long day.
It will be a long day.
Senator Santorum?
Just ditto that. We're going to suspend, I've said this for 4 years, we're going to suspend and repeal every executive order, every regulation that costs American jobs and is impacting our freedom. And second, the First Amendment Defense Act, which is protecting religious liberty. If it's not passed by then, which I suspect it won't because the president will veto it, I will institute an executive order to make sure the people of faith are not being harassed and persecuted by the federal government for standing up for their religious beliefs.
First order, Carly Fiorina.
I agree with my colleagues. We need to begin by undoing, I would begin by undoing a whole set of things that President Obama has done, whether it's illegal amnesty or this latest round of EPA regulations. But let me go back to something that's very important. We have been debating right here the core difference between conservatism and progressivism. Conservatives, I am a conservative because I believe no one of us is any better than any other one of us. Every one of us is gifted by God, whether it is those poor babies being picked over or it's someone whose life is tangled up in a web of dependence. Progressives don't believe that. They believe some are smarter than others, some are better than others, so some are going to need to take care of others. That is the fight we have to have, and we have to undo a whole set of things that President Obama has done that get at the heart of his disrespect and disregard for too many Americans.
Governor Pataki.
Bill, I defeated Mario Cuomo. And the first day in office, my first executive order, I revoked every one of the executive orders that he had enacted over the prior 12 years. I would do that to Barack Obama's executive orders, but I'd sign a second one, as I did in New York as well, having a hard hiring freeze on adding new employees except for the military or defense-related positions. I signed that executive order. When I left, the workforce in New York State had been reduced by over 15%. We can do that in Washington. I will do that in Washington.
Thank you all.